Hello again. This is Sphere Homework Part 2. I'm not going to be able to do all of these because this one is still quite wet, as you will see, but I'll show you on a couple of the others, and you can, of course, replay. So one thing to notice is this. I thought I had smoothed that out, but look at that. This is the thing with watercolor. Like sometimes it looks like it's doing it and then it dries and everything keeps moving and then you see that it didn't. You know, the one that worked the best was lifting this one out and then doing this one wet and wet because the water kept it so soft. All the ones that I did wet and dry, well, these I didn't try, but I wasn't able to get rid of the hard line. So, just a good thing to know as I go about my painting business. Okay, so I'm going to do this one, and actually, glazing is one of the few things that I prefer a synthetic brush because it doesn't hold as much water, and it's just easier to control the glazing. I think the sable brush does help me stay looser. I think, speaking of loose, because it does hold so much water and does such crazy things. Or I should say a quill brush. Yeah, a quill brush. But for this, this is a nice type of brush to use. So I'm just going to use the same color. I'm going to let it be a little thicker. Let's test it over here. Yeah, let it be a little thicker. And then here's what I'm going to do for glazing this. Is I'm just going to come down and paint the bottom of this sphere. Keeping in mind that I'm going to soften it, so I don't want to paint too much. And then I'm going to rinse out the brush, kind of tap it off. I want it a little wet, but not have too much water. And then I'm just going to come in with the brush and kind of run it along the edge. And so now it's softening. Oh man, I got off screen, sorry. I'll do another one. Now it's softening. Now it might end up stopping at this edge like some other things I showed you. So we might need to just, whoopsie, that had too much paint on it. See, it does pick up a little paint when you do that. So I'm just gonna rub that out. So I might need to kind of go up all the way so that the paint has somewhere to go. But basically, that is how you glaze. All right, and instead of having a hard line, we have some softness. All right, so let me do this one. Now this one kind of doesn't look very dark. So now I can just go straight into my paint. Get it a little slippery. And I can just, again, I need more pigment than water, and there's a lot of water here. But I can just drop in more paint, and then I don't have to do anything with it because it's already wet. So you can charge in strong pigment after you glaze to get even more definition of that. And actually, let me show you. I'll do that here with this one. Again, I'm getting an indigo, really nice dark color. And I'll just drop it in to the very bottom. And then that gives me a nice, now I have 4 values in that one. So you can see that it's separating and just loosening and looking lovely because it's going into wet paint. All right, so that's what I'd like you to do. And honestly, this is, one thing I should tell you is I am doing this on 100% cotton paper. This is the Bao paper that Mason recommended, and it's really good, and it's much more reasonable, and you'll just have a lot more fun if you invest in some. But this would be a much different exercise on less high quality paper. I probably should have done it on that, but you will see, and you might decide that you want paper like this. But if you do have difficulties with less high quality paper, you're not allowed to criticize yourself. You are allowed to criticize your paper and perhaps purchase some better paper and do the exercise again. All right, thanks so much. See you next week.